Well, we're trying to refocus on what we've done in the past. You know, we've had a couple of years that has been below our expectations, and we're trying to get to the point that we are again competing for championships. And the way that we're trying to do that is to become again a good defensive team and a team that values the ball and offensive possessions. That's a process. You know, we're only two and a half weeks into this. We've had a couple exhibition games, and I think that's all part of that whole process. Curtis and Tyrell and Brennan have been very good as far as their work ethic and their attention to detail. And you know, we have 15 freshmen and sophomores in the program, so that takes a while for them to kind of get it. And those older guys are doing a good job, and that's a process that we're going through right now. Well, program slipped defensively here in the last year or two, and we have to get that focus back. It's always, no matter what sport it is, defense, you can have that every day. You can be a good defensive team no matter what you're doing on offense, and I think our program is so much slipped in that regard, and that's going to be our main focus, is to make sure that it's tough for people to score against us. And then offensively, it comes down to us getting good shots and the right people taking the right shots at the right time. Up until recently, we weren't even close to being at that level. So we expect to compete for championships here, and we just haven't done that the last couple of years. And so I get it. The league is very loaded. It's as good now as it's been for a very long time. There are, you know, in my mind, 3, 4, maybe 5 teams that are NCAA caliber teams, and we're going to have to play very hard and very well to be able to compete for a championship this year. But that's still our goal. I do think we have a little grind about us this year. I think we are getting that defensive mentality back that we're going to make it tough for teams to score. Again, I think we've lost that somewhat in the last couple of years. I think that mentality has returned. That you know, we're going to come in, we're going to fight, we're going to compete, we're going to grind you possession by possession. That, and I think our talent level is better now than it has been for a couple of years. So it's young, but I think the talent level we have is going to get us back to that point where we're going to compete for championships.
My expectations for this season is definitely an OAC championship. I understand the process is going to be tough because we have some great teams, but I think that we can get that done, especially with the 2 exhibition games we had, competing against D1s and seeing that we were able to compete. It's fun because we know that we're playing against some of the best teams in the country 2 times a year, and there's times, well, John Carroll, we lost by 1 at their place when they were undefeated. So it's definitely fun because we see that we're right there, but it's just taking that initial step. And that my expectations for this season is definitely an OAC championship. I understand the process is going to be tough because we have some great teams, but I think that we can get that done, especially with the 2 exhibition games we had, competing against D1s and seeing that we were able to compete. It's just a great program, and playing at their place, you know, they typically bring a good crowd, especially in Marietta. They probably always sell out the place. And I just want to beat them at their place because of all their fans there, and it just feels like it's the team versus everybody. I don't feel good about it, but at the same time, I think we use that to our advantage, knowing that people don't think we're bringing a lot back. We had 2 great players that left, Michael Green and Mark Minch, but at the same time, I know a lot of guys worked hard this summer, and our chemistry now, 1 through 17, I mean, the guys are going to start, and the guys who might play 1 minute. We're a team, and we really worked hard this offseason, and especially in practice. So I think we can use it to our advantage and prove a lot of those people wrong. If I tell them anything, they immediately respond, and they immediately do what I ask because they trust that I know what I'm doing. And I think I kind of earned their trust with this offseason, you know, being the first guy in and just working hard, especially me and Kurt, you know, giving them that example because we understood if we're being lazy, they're going to be lazy, you know. That's just how it goes.
OAC championship is always a high expectation. You like to set the bar high, that way you can keep climbing the ladder as you get there. And really a good expectation goal besides an OAC championship would just be to come out and compete every game. And if we come out and compete every game, that'll put us in opportunities to win, and that'll help lead to the goal of the OAC championship. Obviously, we would have liked to have been higher, but that's just people's opinions. You know, it's preseason stuff. You can never predict it. Nobody ever gets it exactly right. It's definitely some motivation for us going forward to use We would like to obviously finish first in the OAC, so there's 6 teams ahead of us today to be able to do that, and for us to do that, we got to compete every game. I would definitely say Marietta and John Carroll, because they've been, these last 3 years, they've been the studs of our conference, and they've been the top of the conference, and if we can go in and compete and knock them off, that would be a great win for us, and it could boost us going forward and really help us to spark a playoff run. The underclassmen so far, all the freshmen and sophomores got a lot of experience last year as freshmen, and the freshmen coming in have really responded to our leadership well. They've listened to me and Tyrell. They've listened to the older guys, and even the sophomores now. They've had some leadership roles of their own as they've had their own experiences, and it's not necessarily just me and Tyrell or Brennan Chukrin, our junior. It's not just us being the upperclassmen. It's everybody kind of leading and helping each other along. The competitiveness. Everybody wants to win from top to bottom. There's no team out there just going to have fun, just getting the games over with. Everybody wants to play. Everybody's competing, and everybody's in it to win an OAC championship. Nobody starts the season thinking, we're picked to be last in the conference. Let's just try to get second last. No, everybody comes in and says, hey, everybody's going to beat everybody, so that can open up some doors and we can win the championship. So having everybody that we have to compete against really makes the games interesting and really fun.